How are we getting on, folks? So look at who was on Sun Drenched. Look at tipped up last night 16-1. I hope an awful lot of you that follow the page were on it. Uh, the rest of the selections were very, very poor. But yeah, lucky enough, Sun Drenched. We saved the best to last, and yeah, it turned out to be a fairly profitable day. Even if if you had, I suppose, level stakes all the way along, and Sundrench rocks up at 16-1. Uh, that's good enough for me. That's good enough for a win any day of the week. Um, at the end of the day, that just means you've more than doubled your money. So look at when it goes like that, it's always very nice. But look at Listowel Racing Festival, the Harvest Festival as they call it. It's starting now tomorrow and lasting for the week. I am very, very excited about this. There's some lovely racing going on tomorrow, especially. Um, some very nice, I suppose, prospects, and as well as that, some very class horses as well. But look at, I'm not going to, I suppose, waffle on too much about it. I'm going to just get cracking into it. First race is kicking off at 1:35. We're going to take a little bit of a chance here now. We're going to go with Duffel Coat at 13-8. Really and truly, it is between them, the Gordon Elliott too. It's hard to split them. More so the fact that we don't really know the limitations or where the limitations lie. Both of them are undefeated. Both of them are very short priced. I think I've seen 6-4 and 13-8. So it's definitely flip flopping between the two. But this Duffel Court had an awful lot of ease in behind it. All it has to do really, that only run was on debut. All it has to do is improve a small little bit to even match Longclaw, and if not, surpass him. That's the way I'm looking at it. I think Jack Kennedy made a bit of a mistake going with Longclaw. I think it's starting to get, I suppose, caught up with the handicapper, and just, I suppose, it's more exposed than this. I suppose was it called Duffel Coat. Yeah, and it's not a massively better price, but it's still a better price at the end of the day. Um, it all really depends whether this Longclaw will actually get its hat trick tomorrow or not. There's no reason why it can't, but there's, I suppose, more more of an exposed horse, I suppose, coming up against one that we just simply do not know where the limitations lie. This Duffel Coat was very good in his debut. I would fully expect it to come on for that run and be even more impressive now tomorrow. And look at, it wouldn't be a massive shock, but at the same time, I definitely think Duffel Coat could well cause a bit of a shock tomorrow. Now moving on to the 210 Sky Ace. This is an each way shout, currently trading around 11-2. Obviously, for people who have been following the page for a considerable length of time, you would know that I picked out 15 horses to follow for the upcoming National Hunt season. Sky Ace was mentioned as one of them for possible, I suppose, money maker for I suppose punters, really, more so than anyone else. But it's a very exciting mare. It's very, I suppose, it's well deserving of being in fairly decent company. It's held its own. I know it was something mad like 35 lengths behind Jon Snow, but it was still second behind it, and it had a few nice ones in behind it as well. Jon Snow obviously looks a very, very class horse. It could be well one for Cheltenham, but yeah, I think 11-2 current price is crazy. I've actually finished my article this evening, and Sky Ace is mentioned as one of the bets to be on tomorrow for Listowel. I leave a link to in the description down below for the World of Sport website, where you can read it in full, and you can either agree with me or disagree with me. No one will hold any grudges. But yeah, I definitely think Sky Ace is um, well worth following. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it because it's already on the World of Sport website. Um, But yeah, it's meat and ground that it likes, and I definitely think it's going to cause a few, I suppose, problems for the shorter price horses in this race. Now the 245, we're going to go with Arthur's Baby, currently trading around in and around 6 to 1. It's well worth an each way shout. It was very unlucky in Punchestown last time out when the parting company with, I think it was Philip Enright, if I'm not mistaken. That was very early on in the play, but uh, it's a very strong staying horse. It likes to produce late, and it looks very very impressive. Really and truly, I don't see why this horse is 6 to 1. It should really be shorter. It's in the form of his life. Um, I think Michael McNiff trains it. If I'm not mistaken or anything like that. Um, I think I've mentioned it before. I think, yeah, I'm nearly sure Michael McNiff trains it. A man who's had a great season, as you all know from listening to me talking about him. But yeah, I definitely think 6 to 1. It's at an each way price. It's well worth an each way bet. Don't be surprised to see this horse taking on a bit of a, I suppose, taking on a bit of a shock tomorrow. I really think that it's well worth getting involved with, providing it avoids any, I suppose, unforeseen circumstances where the parts company with the rider tomorrow. But I definitely think it's going to be well, like, really and truly, at the end of the day, everyone is entitled to a bit of a mistake now and again, and Arthur's Baby, she's had her mistake, and I definitely think she's going to come on for it. But now the 315, another each way shout. We're going to go with Beat of the Sea, currently trained around 7 to 1. As you all know, I'm very very fond of this horse, particularly when it comes around Kilbeggan. Um, I definitely think, look at it, it's in great form. It was running in a flat race in Navan not too long ago. Uh, I think it was fourth that day, so it's well able to keep up with the speed. It's well able to set the pace. It's well able, like, it's got plenty of speed about it, and it's well able to jump as well at the same time. It's getting back in form. It's on a mark now that it's I suppose exposable really at the end of the day. Um, I definitely think Beat of the Sea, if it finds any improvement, we don't really know whether it will or not, that it's definitely going to be one that I suppose people might underestimate tomorrow. Um, yeah, I've nothing really else to say about it, only that it could well surprise a few, and at 7 to 1, it's definitely well worth getting on each way. Now, um, the 345, another each way shout, but this one is another one that I have mentioned in for the World of Sport website, and for obvious reasons, I'm not going to go into too much detail because it's already up. But we're going to go with a horse called Rose Galmy, currently trading around 6 to 1. I'm probably after butchering the name, but sure, look at we'll mosey on anyway. This horse had a very comfortable win last November at a price of 20 to 1. It's a well built horse, especially for national hunt racing. Big, stocky sort. It looks like it's going to appreciate plenty of hardship in the national hunt scene. But yeah, I definitely think this one could well, I suppose, cause a bit of a shock. The favourite here, hand in my pocket. It's been it is a worthy favourite, don't get me wrong, but it's been odds on for the last two times, and it's disappointed. It hasn't came in the money. Um, so look at, I definitely think it's worth taking on this hand in my pocket with something that's a potential improver. Noel Mead is obviously in great form. Sean Flanagan is in brilliant form, and I definitely think this Regal Me, or what was it, Rose Gilme is definitely going to be well worth in each way. I'm just going to stop mentioning the name of the horse now before I butcher it anymore. But yeah, look at, I'd suggest getting on each way. We don't know where the limitations lie. It could well be. It could well improve to the stage where it might get in for a place or even get its head in front maybe. Um, Now the 415, we're going to go to Andalusia, currently trading around 3-1. I really don't know what to make of this horse. For the simple fact, anytime I try and, I suppose, spot that it has found itself a very nice opportunity, it sometimes doesn't deliver for me. When I think it's, I suppose, exposed and when it's a difficult task to go and win the race, it goes and wins the race. I was completely tied in this race and I seen Andalusia. So I'm going to go for it. I think it's got some sort of a chance. I wouldn't be screaming and shouting about it by any means, but with my record of, I suppose, trying to find a nice opportunity for it and a nice opportunity for ye to back it, um, is completely woeful. But I definitely think, look at, 3-1. It's a mediocre price. I wouldn't be screaming and shouting down the walls about it, but yeah, it's a very tricky race to call. Um, Now moving on to the 650. This one here is going to be my nap of the day. It's very famous among the Peaky blogger. I suppose the backers and the punters. Really, at the end of the day, the storyteller currently trading around 7-4, and this is going to be the nap of the day, folks. Um, Look at it's easy. Another horse that I've mentioned in for the World of Sport website. Uh, Not really going to go into too much detail about it. At the end of the day, look at it's the classier horse of the race. Only real danger is Pellegrin Run. Um, I definitely think it would be a serious worry. It is one of my favourite horses, especially when it goes chasing. I think it's got something like a 50% strike rate in terms of wins. I don't know. I don't even know what the strike rate is for the places, but it's definitely a big worry. I'd be, I suppose, skeptical enough about it, but really and truly, it should only follow the storyteller home. It's got the form behind it. It's beaten Peregrine Run before. It's beaten most of the field before. An awful lot of this field is going to have to be extremely good. They're going to have to be literally producing out of their skins tomorrow, to even come close to laying it love in the storyteller. I think it's an improving sort. Jack Kennedy on board. Gordon Elliott is going for a hat trick with the storyteller. I definitely think they found a lovely, lovely opportunity for it, and price of 7-4 is absolutely crazy money. Um, yeah, I definitely think. Look, if you're going to be having a bet, I'd bet obviously the nap of the day, the 7-4 win. Peregrine Run is not really a niche way price, but it could make up a fairly nice forecast. I don't think there's anything else here that's going to run on into a place. These two are definitely the classier horses of the race. Um, and yeah, I think it's going to be very, very hard beat them. If I'm going to pick a forecast, I may as well pick a tricast, and I'm going to say that Arnua is going to come in third, but that's a tricky bet to land, lads. I wouldn't be going head over heels. Um, but yeah, look at the storyteller should really be too good for this field here now today. Finally, the 520, we're going to go with the Little Aussie Battler. This horse is currently trading around 9-2. In some places, you will find an each way market for it if you are betting in a shop that's offering a quarter of the odds. By all means, go each way. It's a very poor bumper. Um, it's so poor that it's nearly a no bet bumper. Really, at the end of the day, there's nothing really in here going on form. The ones that we don't know anything about that look special often need a run in them. You seen it there today with the bumper horse for Gordon Elliott's. Looks a fairly, I suppose, special horse, but it just needs a run basically. Um, I don't know. I think the fact that Patrick Mullins is on board. Patrick's obviously, in my eyes, he's the best amateur in the game at the moment. Closely followed by the likes of Jamie Codd, Lisa O'Neill. Um, Look at it's a very very tough race to call. I'm completely puzzled by it. I've said it before. It's a no bet race for me. I'm just going to sit back, look at it, and I'll probably analyze it then from there on in. But yeah, look at if you're looking for a bit of value, this the little Aussie battler. It's a pretty hard name to I suppose read off from the first time, but yeah, I definitely think that it's of some value. I think the fact that it's coming from the Mullins yard and Patrick is on board, it's definitely worth considering anyway. But look at, I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to whittle on too much longer. If you're going to be having a bet tomorrow, I wish you all the very best of luck. If you want to take a look at the article for tomorrow, uh, you can do so by visiting the World of Sport website. I'm not 100% sure whether it's actually up yet or not. It's just been sent in for, I suppose, a bit of a check. But I'll leave a link in the description below. If you haven't already, I suppose, subscribed or anything like that, please do so. If if you click into the link for the World of Sport and the article isn't up, just keep an eye. That's basically all I can tell you. Just keep an eye on the Facebook page, the Twitter page, and the website itself. It's going to be going up before tomorrow anyway, at the end of the day, and I definitely think we could well be on a very, very nice, profitable day. But I'm going to leave it there. Thanks very much for listening, and like always, the very best of luck.